Alright guys, just do another painting tonight. Hopefully it comes out as good as last night. Man, that was an amazing one. Well, alright, so I'll let y'all decide. We can either do a mountain scene with water in it, or we can just do a wood scene with water in it. So we're going to do a, well, hey Brandy. Alright. So we're starting with magic white, or that's what I call it. Liquid white, whatever. But I make my own. You don't have to go buy the stuff. Hello, Brandy. Alright, so you can mix it yourself with titanium white and linseed oil. I start at about 50-50, just eyeballing it, and I go a little heavy on the oil. And I do that because some people mix it all the way up to 70% oil. You can do it that way, but I would probably measure it. I do it 50-50 and just eyeball it, put a little extra oil in myself. And it's really runny. I mean, I can't even tilt the cup, it'll run right out. Normally we use a really thick paint, but this first layer has to be this. Alright. So I just put a little bit on the tip, and I'm going to start up here at the top. Uh-oh, I ain't even buckled her in yet. We're going to strap her down. Alright, so now we're going to pull it from the top all the way down. I didn't start on the very edge because it's been bleeding through my tape. And I don't like that. It don't look bad, but it could look better, right? And this layer is so thin, you literally can scrub it in. But always go back over and pull it down. This is really the only way to thin that layer out. If there's a bunch of paint and oil in your brush, it'll come out. Just scrub it. And I'm always thinning. I'll start in the middle and pull out. Make sure those edges are covered. If you're setting up close to it, you can see it. But because we're using post board and not regular canvas, this is post board canvas. And I guess because of the post board behind it, it soaks up that first layer. So you always have to look for dry spots, always. Alright, I got a little bit less than I did the first time because I almost made it to the halfway point too easy. when I say this layer is super thin, it is super, super thin. I can't stress it enough. Bob said this is the #1 reason why they fail. I say it in every video because I messed up probably the first 3 I did. After I was finished, the painting just started running. And I was making mud a lot. Watched a few more of his videos, and I've watched them all now, probably 15, 20 times. But he says it over and over. This is the #1 reason they fail. So if you've tried it and it didn't work for you, go back and do this. Try it. And you don't have to know how to draw. You ain't gotta have nobody in your family that's an artist. Nothing. Just a desire for yourself. I don't want to add no more. I can see that white on the brush. So I know there's still a bunch in there. So I'm just gonna scrub. If you think you put too much on the canvas, you can take a dry brush and go over it. Now, I don't know how thick you put it on. I usually go over mine one time if... Alright, so first let's talk about... Alright. Hold on, give me just a second. Let me make sure I got this covered. I'm getting ahead of myself. It's easier just to show you. Alright, now I know I've been over the whole canvas, I don't know, 100 times at least. If you do this step right, and you're using postboard, you will have dry spots. Because it is that thin of a layer. That postboard is going to soak up all that it can. And after that, we want to take all the extra off. So right now I'm looking at the canvas. We all know I've covered the whole thing. I'm going to lean forward all the way to the canvas and look from this side to that side. From the top to the bottom. It will show me if I have dry spots. If I do not have dry spots, that is the #1 sign you put too much on it. Go over it with a dry brush. Alright, so I'm looking at it. I got a couple of dry spots right across here. And right across here. Alright. Normally, I would just pull from the other spots, but I've already cleaned the brush. So I'm just going to touch a little bit on the tips. Hit these spots. And I can only see these dry spots from this side. Looking straight at it, it looks like the whole thing is shining. And I know I covered it all, but that's not the point. This layer is so thin that that board is going to soak it up. And if you do this right, you will have dry spots. And you can check that with, even if you're using just liquid clear, but that's so much easier. It has no pigment in it. So Bob said that you can put the linseed oil on your canvas and then take a napkin and wipe it all off. And whatever was left would be perfect. That is really how thin it is. You'll never wipe all of it off the postboard once you put it on there. And it soaks it up, you can't get it off. Not with just a paper towel. Alright. Now I just want to go over before I start. The canvas starts to get really slick. When you first put that paint up there, it wants to stick because the paint's hitting dry canvas. But once it gets wet, man, the bristles just slide across, and you can tell when it's right. But that'll take some practice. All right, let's clean the brush. Ouch. Okay. All right. Has anybody decided we're gonna do a mountain scene tonight or a forest scene? Both of them's gonna have water, reflections, trees. If we do some mountains, we'll try to do them like Rocky Mountain colors instead of snow caps. Anybody? Any suggestions? Thank y'all for all the likes. It's truly amazing. A forest with mountains in the background. Okay, I can work with that. Alright, so the sky. We want a bunch of colors. We want blue, yellow, red. Yes, this is oils. We've already put a really thin layer of magic white, which I mix my own, but that's what Bob called it before he started selling
it. Suggestions. You should do a castle with the skies, like a castle on one side, and like the sky, like the blues and all that pretty fluffy clouds.
Blues, pinks, purples.
Terraces, yeah, blues, colors.
Okay, okay. Hold on, blues, pinks, purples. All right,
with a castle.
We might throw a castle in there.
You can do a castle.
If I can get enough room, I might try to figure out something.
You should put it like in the mountain.
But look, this is the first time Carrie has made a suggestion, so I gotta go to it.
All right.
You understand?
Yes, I get it.
Thank you.
Of course, the mountains. Your mountains are pretty dope.
You're so nice.
Your mountains are pretty dope.
All right, so let's do the Rocky Mountains. Let's work on the sky. Blues, reds. What was the other colors?
Blues, pinks, and purples.
Blue, pinks, and purples. All right. All right, so normally I would use Alizar Red. I do not have any. I tried to go get some, and they had cleared the whole shelf. They're supposed to be putting up some new brand of paint. I hope it works. But we will use Magneto. That'll give us a pinkish purple. And I'll take some solid red and mix it with some Fidelio blue. That'll give us our purple lavender.
Oh yeah, Rusty, I wanted to ask you, did you get my flyer for my artist challenge?
No.
I sent it to you. I'll have to look.
Oh, here's another pink color. We're going to use it instead of the other. And I don't want to use, I do have a pink paint. If I did not put the magic white up there, I could, and I put just regular clear linseed, I could use pink and it would stand out. But because the magic white is on there, it's going to turn even lighter than that pink color and you probably wouldn't see it. So I'm going to go with a brighter color so it'll blend down.
Well, couldn't you make the brighter pink, like the poofy part of the clouds, maybe?
Say it again.
I said the poofy, the pink, because it'll be lighter because of the white behind it. Couldn't you, like, make that part poofy clouds? Make them pink poofy clouds?
Oh, yeah. I'll put some pinks up there. Okay. I've actually had a really beautiful cloud in my head. I just ain't been sure about how to get it on the canvas. But
Okay, go, you go.
I think I figured it out. All right, there's a beautiful blue. We'll start with that.
I'm gonna hop down.
Ooh, actually, I do got a small amount. I really don't like using the paint right out of a tube. But, man, these are so beautiful. I'm going to do it tonight. I'll probably mix it some in a little bit, but...
Why don't you like using it out of the tube?
Because the lavender color that you mix is a lot darker than this, which there is color wheels that teach you how to get these things. But, I don't know. To me, I haven't been able to get a purple like this. You'll see in just a second.
Well, some people like coloring right out of the tube and some people don't. That's why I asked.
All right, so look, I'm going to show everybody. Take the corner of your brush, pull your paint out, very small amount, and then push it as hard as you can. And by doing that, the paint goes all the way through to all the bristles. And you didn't pick up a whole lot of paint. All you did was color the bristles. That's it. If you go up there with a whole bunch of paint, a glob of it, you'll be there forever blending it, and then it usually ends up all being the same color. Alright, so we'll take some small X's. Go across the top first. Then we'll work our way down. And as I'm coming down, I'm having to push more on those bristles to get more color to come out. But that's what's giving me all those lines. That's what builds the sky. Most of the paint came off those first few licks across the top.
That makes sense.
Alright. And see, look, all that white on the bristles. And y'all seen how thin that layer is, but it really, because we don't go up there with a lot of paint, is why it works.
I have done.
Alright. Let's see. Thank you, Brandy. Thank you. I hope you come back. Alright, now we're going to take the big brush and blend that down so we can add another layer. And that's when we'll throw in those colorful clouds. So just with the corner, again, small X's. Work your way from the top to the bottom. Don't worry if you got white spots. That's fine. That's what adds distance. All those different shades. Alright, and because down here will be the furthest spot in our painting, we will make it the lightest. Same color, but because of the magic white, all we have to do is just rub it, and it'll get so light it'll disappear on you actually. Alright, now I'm gonna go across it, not with no pressure, I'm just dragging the brush. Bob said this was hypnotizing it. I really think I want to bring that down a little bit further. Yep. Actually, we'll just throw a couple of lavender colors back there. Alright, I'm gonna get my fan brush. Start working on some of these clouds. And that's a dark color. Whew. Alright, normally I would load up a whole bunch of paint on my brush, but this time I'm not. I am flipping it over, but I'm only loading half of it. Pull the paint out with a corner. Flip it. Alright. Very little paint on there, because I want to put a whole bunch of layers. Let's see. So just with small circles. Oh man, I hope this comes out. It looks so good in my head. Alright, reloading it again. Same way. Just sharpen up that top edge. Everything else, I'm gonna blend it. It's alright, I'll come back in and add some more. I'm gonna take this little brush right here, and just the corner, I'm gonna touch the canvas right on this edge and start doing small circles, just wiggling. Don't touch the outside edge. Yeah, you can spin it any direction you want. Let's just get rid of those lines. Let it blend down to where it just goes away. Try not to stay in one spot because it'll all look the same then. Alright, let's do it. I'm gonna add some more of these. And anybody that's been following me knows, every painting I do is the first time. It is absolutely the first time. I think that'll work. I'm gonna do my brush. I just had it. There it is. Alright, once again, just the bottom edge. Small circles, keep it going. And if you're doing big clouds, you could do big circles. Whatever makes you happy, just play with it. Try it out. Oh man, I almost don't want to put a mountain over the top of it. I'll try to stay under it a little bit. You got it. I'll turn it down a little more. You know, you can see a difference in my pictures when I'm not listening to music. I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I can see a difference. All right, here we go. Let's do another color. Yeah, we'll do this one. Do the same thing. Use the corner of your brush, pull it out. Got a little hair on it. And then the other side. Okay, let's see. Because I'm not picking up much paint, it runs out real quick. You got it? Y'all give me just a second. All right. Sorry about that. I had to change the code on the house. She just don't remember. Oh, I want to show y'all something. Somebody sent me today. Oh. Alright. Y'all remember that Peapod thing? That is so awesome. I want to say thanks. I won't mention the name. Alright. Alright. Let's go back to the blending brush again. Thank you, Alan. Thank you. I forgot. I'd have to go back and read it. Somebody suggested pink, purple, and see, I forgot already. I don't want to touch the outside edge. I could have done it the other way and blended the top instead of the back. It's just about where you want to show your light coming from, the top or the bottom. Right, we're going to fluff them up in a minute. And it puts really cool lines. And I'm eventually going to leave them in the painting. But when we go to hypnotize it, those lines disappear. But whenever you're fluffing the clouds, it really puts some like, I don't know, like angel clouds. Like, I don't know, once you try painting and you go to fluff a cloud, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Alright, let's go to another color. Purple. True purple. Alright, once again, just with the corner of the brush, and we'll pull some out. Right, as you're pulling it out, you can tell how thick it is by how far you're pulling it. Then I'll flip it over. Load that side too. I'm gonna mix the purple in a minute. This I don't think is bright enough. Maybe if I keep reloading it. Oh yeah. That'll work. Well, I'm gonna go back over that edge one more time. Alright, that'll work. Be careful not to mess up that. Alright, I'm gonna close up this other side over here. Alright, I'm gonna mix a couple of colors. Just to give me a different shade. Oh yeah. That's gonna be a really pretty purple. Alright. we'll do this in steps. Alright, that'll work. Now we're going to fluff them up. And you might see some strings. It's just because right on the edge, that paint is still really thick. Because, we didn't blend the edge of it. So the paint's still really thick right there. So when we go to fluff it, that line usually pulls colors up. Alright, so just like a half circle. And when I'm finished, take a snapshot. And then look at it, and you'll see those lines I'm talking about. I like them. I'm going to leave them in the paint one day. But the next step is going to take those lines right out. What in the world? Thank you, Carrie. Thank you. It really is easy. I promise you, if we were sitting beside each other, you'd do just as good. If I showed you the right brush, the right paint, you would have no problem. Alright, so this step is what gets rid of the lines that we just pulled up. When you go to, and I'm just dragging the brush, no pressure. And this is that part that where Bob say it hypnotizes it, pushes it down into the painting. And as long as you don't put no pressure, you won't destroy it. Gets rid of all your brush strokes. Alright. That'll be great. We'll be able to put some really nice colors in the water. Alright. Let's see what colors we're going to do this mountain with. I do want to do like a Rocky Mountain. Oh, you know what? I'm going to use that purple. And I'll put a little black with it, just a small amount. Alright. Let's see. Man, I almost hate to do this. It's gonna be a shame. as I'm putting that nice edge, top edge, all I'm worried about is it. Making sure it's nice and distinct. I can see it really good. Like right here, it's not well defined, so I'm going to take the knife, turn it sideways, and pull it. The only thing we're worried about is this edge. After I put the paint down, then I'll take the knife and scratch it back up. Alright, I think that'll work. Yep. Alright, first thing I want to do is just tap it out. Normally we would pull this. Actually, I think I'm gonna pull it anyway. It ain't gonna. I want it to come down further than what's coming down. Alright. Everything should have a left and a right. So I'm gonna pull everything on this side in the angle I want it to fall in. If you want it to fall straight, then pull it straight down. Alright, then we're gonna do this side. And when I get finished with this part, if you take a snapshot and zoom in, you can see where, well, because I start on the sides, that's going to be the mountain the furthest away. And then when you're pulling this one, it pulls straight across that one and pushes it back. I don't know if you can see it actually good through just looking through the camera, but if you take a snapshot, you can see it. That's why it's so easy to see what you're going to do. You're actually shaping it right now. Alright, I'm going to start over here because this one's going to be the furthest back. Pull it out. And as you're painting, you'll start seeing stuff that you did not plan on. I didn't understand that when Bob said it, but now I do. Alright, let's clean the brush. Can we see that tool? What tool? It's just a little natural hairbrush. You pick them up at Walmart, like they're just throwaway brushes, but man, they're really good. One day I'm gonna get me a Bob Ross professional set. One day. But he did say just use a natural hairbrush. Alright, the tool I was using is called a palette knife. Bob used two of them, a big one and a little one. This is the little one. Just clouds up there. Just, you could even go back and put white on the edges and then blend that back, and it would just have those tints to it. And the stuff you can do is unlimited. You know, I just like for mine to be pretty, that's all. And the stuff I'm going to put up here, just like that mountain, because it's probably going to cover up a lot. Maybe over here. Just depends on how high up I go with trees. Alright, so I'm going to use a gold. No, I got some yellow ochre. That mixed with some brown. And I'm going to use my palette knife again. I'm going to show y'all how to do this and marble your paint. I got to use my knife and clean off a little spot here. And you got to be careful. There's a reason why they call it a knife. I almost took my finger off with one the other day. Thank gosh my fingernail stopped it. And the bone. I hate to say it like that. But look. I don't know if you can see it, but it cut it from... I went through the side with a knife. I was holding my palette and went... And it stopped at the bone. So be careful. Be careful. Well, I'm going to mix a little bit of white with this. Make it a little bit lighter. Alright. Now I'm going to mix a little yellow ochre with it. And when you mix the yellow ochre with white, it's a gold color. It's really pretty. Alright, so let me show you how we're going to do this. I'm going to take my knife. I'm going to get a little roll. A little bit more than that. A big roll, actually. And I'm going to flatten it out. Then I'm going to get some of that. About the same amount of that yellow ochre. and rub that across it. A little bit more of the brown right across it. All right. Don't want to over mix it. Let's see what comes out. We'll start with the ones in the back and do them first. So just touch and pull slow. No pressure. Let the knife, just that paint. You don't want the knife to touch. You want that little roll of paint to touch, and that is it. We'll add a little bit more of that yellow ochre. Oh yeah. Alright, so look. Now look at all the different variations I can grab. This time let's go a little brighter. Alright. Make sure you're grabbing a real small roll of paint. The smaller it is, the better it breaks. You just gotta have be real gentle. Right now I'm just putting a little bit of light up there. So I'm gonna put some shadowy in. I just want to see where the light's gonna start. Alright, that'll work. Now for the shadow side we'll use, what color I got here? It's a dark color I mixed up. I can't remember what it is, but we're going to put white on top of it. Let me show you what to do first. Flatten out that dark color. Now I'm going to get a little roll of white. And I'm going to go over. I can't hold it up and smash it, so I got to set it down to do it. Alright, right over the top of it. And I can pick it up bright or further down here where I got more lines. Or I can rub it a couple more times. I'll do that. Let me rub it again. There we go. Now, check out the different colors. But make sure to pick up a small roll. It'll break a lot easier for you. And if it's really, you gotta have a thick paint for this to work. If it's really thin, it's hard, really hard to do. And once again, I keep saying it, you won't see all these lines if you don't snapshot it and zoom in. They are amazing, the gaps, how the purple bleeds through the back. I'm gonna put some more highlights on the other one over there. Just going over it with just a little bit of black, some dark spots on top of these. That was a little too thick. All right. Now we'll go back to the light. Remember, small rollers. Can't tell right now. Remember, no pressure. None. I'll turn around just to say it. This takes a lot of concentration. Alright, a little bit more on the back one. Then we'll add some more light on that front one too. Alright, I think that's will work. For sure. No, it's definitely oil. Hold on, just to show you. Alright. oil. But thank you, that's a huge compliment. I don't know how to use acrylic at all, except for a base coat. Alright, so now I'll take my brush and we're going to tap it out. You don't want the brush to slide, and I'm only coming up halfway and then tapping it down. I want the bottom half to get real blurry. Still want to have those gaps. Make sure to tap in the same angles that you got your mountain falling into. Alright, I'm gonna knock the brush off because the other side is more dark. You don't want the brush to slide. Tap, pick up, move. Got a little something back there in the back. Don't know what it is. Man, that does look amazing. I'm telling you, I amaze myself. Alright, now I want to pull up that mountain. This really softens it, blurs it up. Pulling some of that magic white right back up. Alright, I'll go across here and get rid of all these marks right here. Just to soften that a little more. Oh, that don't matter, I'm gonna cover it up. Alright, let's put some of that blue down for the water. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing. Use the corner of the brush. I'm using a big brush. Pull out enough to tap the whole brush into. Alright, now we'll start at the bottom and work our way up. That'll be the closest spot to us. That would be the furthest away, so the same color would be lighter further away. So if you start down here, as you work your way up, some of that paint starts coming off the brush. It gets lighter, lighter. All right. And we're going to pull it just to the center here. Make sure to pull it straight across. I want there to be a little light come around this corner. All that's going to disappear mostly. Alright, I'm going to reload. Start on this side and pull in. Just put a few lines in it. Alright, now I'm going to clean the brush. Make sure it's dry before you go back up there now. That mineral spirits and the linseed oil or magic white, whatever you're using, it'll have a violent reaction with it. Alright, so we just want to go back over this. And I'm using the whole brush so it can pick up any heavy paint and blend it down even softer. It helps to get as much paint off the board so we can add more layers. Now you can add thinner and that helps, but eventually you can only go so far without letting it dry and going back over it. One setting. Alright, I think that's beautiful. Alright, that'll work. And if this can cover up most of it, probably. Alright, first I need some sap green. And look, oil. Alright. Hold on. I've had this tube for a while, so it's gotten real dry. No, but getting there. Look at that.
That's pretty.
Alright.
How's your life going?
Good.
Come in here to lay on your bed. I might rob the bed.
Here we go. Alright, so once again, I'm going to pull out a small amount of the sap green. And then we'll tap. Just to put color on the tip of my brush. Alright.
I'm your audience over here.
Let's see. I have a tree back here. Maybe some bushes. Now, I don't want to pick up a lot at one time. I'd rather go back and reload as I need it. I like having those gaps so that you can see through some of it. Alright, try to make the bottom of it dark. And the center.
I hate
having intrusive thoughts that I can't say.
Alright, let's see.
Come back in here and check on me.
I see something back here, I don't know what. I'll just put that there for now. And one right there. Alright. Clean the brush. Let's see, I want some yellows. Oh, first we gotta put some tree trunks in here. Alright, I'm gonna get my thinner. I got it in a little bitty squirt thing so I can drop it out in drops. I usually put 2 drops when I'm just trying to thin something, but I'm gonna put about 5 because I want to make it like ink. Let me get my black. Alright, that'll work. You want it really runny so it comes right off the tip. And that's all you want to use is just the tip, unless you gotta do something a bit different. Alright, that'll work. Some on the back. Alright, let's go to the yellow. And my 1 inch. There we go. Once again, I'm going to tap right into my paint. Just tap with just a corner. I'm not trying to put the whole brush on it this time, just a little bit. If it don't want to come off, put a little thinner on it. You know what? I'm gonna put a little red with this one. Alright, that'll work. Now we'll take a little bit. Actually, we need to make some reflections. Let's see. Alright, there's a couple of ways we'll try it. I'm gonna grab some of this and pull it down. Man, beautiful colors. Wow. Alright. There we go. Now we're going to lightly go across this. Lightly, lightly, lightly. Just drag the brush. 3 hairs and some air. And you can even wiggle the line. You can go this way and then pull it that way. The whole line wiggles. You'd have to snapshot it to see it. Alright. Now we'll take a little bit of some brown. Trying to figure out how to lay in the fall. Alright, just like that. I'll take a little bit of that same yellow. Yellow ochre. And lightly, just touch this a little bit. You don't want the knife to touch. Just that little roll of paint. Alright, fade away back there. Alright, I'm gonna take my brush and straighten that up a little bit and pull some of that down. Make sure to pull it straight down though. It's so important. Alright, I'm gonna lightly go across that. Right. I'm gonna take a little white, do a waterline. happened to everybody? They left. Alright, let's see. So I'm shaking my knife straight, even though I'm coming down the board just a little bit. And by doing that, it'll put those border lines in there for you. Really nicely, really nicely. Alright, let's put something over here on the side and on that side. Go back into the sap green. Really loading up the tip of it. When I touch it, I want that thick paint to come off there. Notice I'm not trying to cover everything up. I want to be able to see through some of it. I don't think that'll work. A little bit more right here at the bottom. We'll make it really dark to that center. Because you got the leaves on the front and the back. You wouldn't see through it quite as easy. And we gotta put the tree in there. Go back to my liner brush and my black. Add a little more thinner because it done evaporated. Alright. Twist your brush through the paint and that thinner so you get a nice straight tip. Alright, that'll work. Let's see. Alright, now that I got the tree in there, I'm gonna put a couple of bushes. And we'll highlight these a different way. Ooh, maybe that's grass. Yeah. Yep, that'll work. pull some of this down for reflections. This part ain't gotta be exact because we're gonna go over it with the brush in just a second. Alright, that'll work. So I'm gonna go to my blending brush and lightly go over these. First I'm gonna go over this because I don't want to pull none of that heavy paint up there down here on top of it. You can go up or down, doesn't matter, as long as it's straight lines. If you put an angle on it, it won't look right. Alright, now lightly go across it. Alright. Let's put some of that dirt under it. A little tape kind of got me there for a second. Alright. Go back to my green brush. Alright. Alright, much better. Now I'll take this brush, straighten up this bottom, pull some of this down. And then lightly go across it. And we'll put a water line just to show everything. Now I start a little high. Like I said, I keep that blade straight. And then when I come around it, I start coming, keep it straight, shaking it straight. Oh yeah. There we go. Maybe it goes somewhere else back there. Alright, there we go. And now the other side. We'll come back and add some highlights and stuff over there. Wow, wow, wow. Remember, you don't want to put a lot of paint when you're doing your facings. Put a lot up there to all run together and you won't see none of it. Light pressure. I mean, well, really no pressure. Just pull down. Soft. Alright, because I'm getting down here at the bottom, I'll go up. Alright. Lightly. No pressure. That's so amazing. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna mix a little bit of white with some yellow ochre. And I'm not cleaning the brush, I'm leaving that green on there. See what happens. I'm just stabbing. Here, a little more green. Alright, let's see what color we got. Oh, even a little red to it. Alright, here we go. I almost got ahead of myself again. I need to put chunk in here. Alright. Go back to that funky color. Alright. Let's see. On the other side. Like I said, I'm not going to clean the brush. I'm going to add that purple color we used in the sky. Oh yeah. Alright. A couple of jabs later. And think about each limb. Leave some gaps so you can see the inside of it. Okay, let's see what else we can do. Yes, love.
Are you almost done?
No. Yeah, almost. In a minute. In a minute. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna go to the.
How much more do you have to do?
The blue. Once again, not cleaning the brush. Got into a little purple. And now I'm just making a mess. Alright, now let's go back to the brush, pull that down lightly. Go across it. Other side. Put a waterline on this side. what I'll do with the knife. Well, I just had it. Alright guys, y'all, forgive me. I don't know where it was. Oh, there it is. It's always hiding. Make sure to keep these lines straight too. Put no water line across the top of it, just pushes that reflection down. Alright, I'm gonna put a couple of bushes over here on this side. All those same colors. Just touching and pushing a little bit. Alright. Can't wait to pull the tape on this one. Alright, I'm gonna go into that red color. Alright. Pick another color. Oh yeah. That'll work. Really thick, really thick. Alright, now we'll go into the white. There's so much texture on here right now, you probably poke your finger if you touch it. All that paint, when you touch it and pull it back, it just sticks up. Alright, let's pull the tape. Thank you. Carrie, thank you. I love doing these borders on almost every painting. A lady did ask me to do some without the border, and I did. But I went back to my border. Let's take it off, see what we got. I just think it sets it off. You ain't even gotta buy a frame. I got them hanging all over my place with shower curtain clips. The little rings that have the clips on the end. Oh wow. Yeah, every time you move forward, everything else goes further and further back. But then you gotta start showing more detail the closer you get. Hold on, I need to put a little bit of something. Let's see. Always sit back and look at your painting. You'll see stuff and be like, man, I wish I had done that when it was wet. Once it dries, it's a little tough. Guys, y'all, please play with the colors. Make your own tree. Invent your own. Invent your own bush. Just have fun doing it. All right, that's it. Thank you so much, Carrie. I really appreciate that. Hope it wasn't too long for you. Man, thank all y'all so much for all the likes. I really do appreciate it. It's amazing. It's always amazing. I hope I inspired at least one person to try this. Just grab. Look, if you don't want to go buy a whole bunch of paint, I've done some videos where we've done a seascape with red and white, black and white, and then we've done another one blue and white. So you can get two colors and make you a beautiful painting. Something to impress yourself. You know, if any of y'all want to, you know, just one-on-one, get with me. We can get together, maybe, I don't know, get it so that we're the only ones in the live. And the more I look at this, the more I see stuff I gotta fix. Alright. Let's see here. I'm using a long hairs. It's real skinny. Not a lot of bristles in it. Okay, I can live with that. Yeah, that'll work. I hate messing with it after I pull the tape. But once it dries, it doesn't work the same. Every time you put a thick paint on there and then you touch it with another thick paint, it grabs each other and pulls off. It's why it's almost impossible to copycat somebody. You might do a painting done the same way, but will the colors be the right? No. The way we load the knife, the way we load the brushes, there's just no way to copy that. Everybody, if we were sitting side by side, we were tapping in the same paint, it would load every brush differently. Alright guys, y'all have a great night. It's been a lot of fun. Thank y'all for being here. How do you remove comments? Tap the screen. I'm looking. I got it. If I knew how to remove them, I would. I promise you I would. I ended up liking my own video, trying to get the comments off. Alright, I will post a picture of it, guys. Y'all look at it. zoom in and check out all the different variations on it, man. It's really cool. And I promise you, there's spots on these bushes down here that when it dries, it will poke your fingers. It's a lot of texture, a lot of texture. You're welcome. Okay, you're welcome. Hope to see you again. Y'all have a great night.